Well, I'll make a motion, we approve Pinker to run the meeting tonight.
Second.
If you're okay with that, Jessica.
Sounds great. Thank you for doing it.
I ain't done it yet, and you haven't seen what's gonna happen yet. All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I
Nay, motion carried. We'll call the meeting to order and approval of the agenda. Any errors or omissions or changes? Nope. We gonna do it as it is?
We do have executive session, just so you.
Ah, okay. Public forum. I see no public.
Well, they're public, but they're employed public.
Yeah. Consent agenda. Approval of past meeting minutes. July 13th. Approval of checks and warrants and liquor licenses. Liquor and tobacco. Bristol Core Downtown Vibrancy Fund Municipal Attestation Letter.
We're challenging you.
Okay, yes you
In one
are.
sentence.
Authorization for the select board chair to sign communications property tax grievance stipulation agreement in lieu of BCA hearing. I wonder what that is. Approval to place the justice of the peace on the election on the back of the general election ballot.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All right. You've already taken care of the meeting minutes. You're happy with those?
I gave my suggestions.
Any $75.58. What is the vibrancy fund
Basically what that
attestation?
is by signing it, it says that they don't give up it's not in lieu of their appropriation.
So it acknowledges that they get an appropriation from the town and the vibrancy grant is in addition to that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it just means like by taking the grant, they don't give
We're
up.
not
don't
gonna,
give
we're
that
not
up.
gonna take
Take
that
it away from them.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Okay.
I have just one on 4E. I noticed I was at this Tuesday, I was at the select board meeting in Starkville last Tuesday night, and I thought Justice Peace elections were in March meeting, no?
No, they're usually done at the general election because their terms run from February to February.
Oh, okay. I heard them, they did it the same thing.
This is the first time they've asked that we needed to get approval from the select board to put it on the back of the general election. And the reason is because they mail it to everybody, so they want to make sure you guys are fine.
Oh, okay.
Because otherwise we have to hand count, and I'm like,
Greg, can you explain this property tax grievance stipulation? I mean, I
Yeah.
read it and I was a little confused on what
it's for
what
the
it's supposed to do.
It's for the telecommunications. The state set the education tax rate for telecommunications. The towns have nothing to do with it, the BCA has nothing to do with it, so they came up with this stipulation that could be signed off on, so they could bypass, once the, if they came in to grieve, once the listers said no, then they could bypass BCA if they sign this stipulation and go straight to the state or the Supreme or the courts.
Well, why would they want to do that?
Because they'd have to fight the BCA, they'd have to fight every BCA in every town that got communications.
We'd have to say no because we didn't have anything to do with setting the rate.
It was, state
It's
always
all
says,
state mandated.
State always
So
says that.
we couldn't change it even if we wanted to.
Are you talking about like the telecommunications, the cell tower type things?
Yes, they've always
Okay.
paid municipal tax, but they've never paid the education piece.
Okay.
And now the state wants them to pay
Pay
the
the
education
education
piece
Gotcha.
until they're all,
Okay.
it's quite a bit of money.
So this just,
Yeah,
it just avoids a step for,
Right,
when
because
they
we have
appeal.
no authority to change anything.
Okay,
so.
got it. That was very unclear when I was
Yeah,
reading.
I was confused, but sometimes it doesn't take much. You just throw a couple big words in there and I'm all flustered. All right, so we have a motion and a second for the consent agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Regular business, fire department, update on Vermont forest fire and fire prevention statute changes, Act 162 of 2026. Brett?
Good evening, everyone. How are you?
Good, yourself?
Good. Is Deputy Chief Foran on the line as well?
He's on. You see him.
Okay,
I know.
got two screens going here. Anyway, so tonight we were asked to come in and just provide you all with an overview of the changes to the state's forest fire warden program specifically. There was a bill, H935, that was passed by the House recently. There were several items in the bill, but tonight we're here to talk about the forest fire warden program and how that impacts or really doesn't impact the town of Bristol. You all recall a year ago, longtime fire warden, 30-year fire warden, Ed Shepard. Based on the direction the state was going in, they were encouraging fire departments at that time, if the opportunity presented itself, to place a fire officer into the role of fire warden. Obviously, they had a plan, a vision, which came to fruition here recently, where, in fact, by this becoming law, by position, the fire chief is now the fire warden. So that practice of you all having to appoint a fire warden every 5 years, you no longer have that responsibility, but you still have the responsibility, clearly, of appointing a fire chief and a deputy fire chief. And by those appointments, we inherit those titles. So if you would like, I could go through and just provide you a high-level overview at this time, unless you have any questions before I do that. Well, maybe I should start with this. Do you want to know any more about this?
I know you're it. You and Eric are it.
Yeah. I mean, it's again, the change to you all is you no longer have that responsibility of appointing a fire warden, like a standalone position. Because again, by position, I am the fire warden, and I have presented some draft job descriptions for the fire department to Greg that he's reviewing before they get to you. And I wrote into the chief and the deputy chief's job descriptions that by your appointment of those two positions, they inherit the responsibility of fire warden and deputy fire warden.
Okay.
What additional operational burden is added to you and Eric, Chief?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that, Greg?
What additional operational burden is placed on you and Eric?
I mean, I can't speak for Eric, but I imagine his answer would be similar. For the last, I don't know, years, 5 or 6 years, we've served as what the state defined as a key person, not a deputy fire warden, but a key person. That is the title. So under fire warden Ed Shepard, Eric and I were authorized to issue burn permits only. That was the only authority we were given under Ed's purview. So, we've been doing that, and that continues into this year. Obviously, yes, Ed was issuing permits as well. But one of the requirements, is dealing with the occasional complaints, which, they're more frequent than they used to be. So that requires us to go out and investigate to see what's going on. And if necessary, one, educate people on what the rules are, the laws are. We've tried to put out some information via social media. And that's just going to be an ongoing thing, the ongoing education piece. But, anytime, even if a person requests a burn permit and we issue them one, as soon as a fire becomes a nuisance or, is creating some other health hazard to someone, by law, we're required to extinguish it. Obviously, we're going to ask the person who ignited the fire under a permit we issued them to do that. And if for some reason they choose not to, we would then have to dispatch the fire department to do that. So, but yeah, I certainly just this year alone, I've made a few house calls, if you will. But it's great opportunities. It's typically the people who are kind of regular requesters of burn permits, but it's been an opportunity to have conversations with them. It's never been confrontational. Just an opportunity to educate them on what the rules are, and that we have to think about our neighbors. I know it's convenient to burn brush, But you know, when you get into populous areas like in the village, it can be quickly become a nuisance for people.
Are the fire permits getting to you in a reasonable way, or do we need to adjust that on the front end with zoning or on the town webpage in any way?
Was your question, is the fire permits getting to us? Was that your question? So people just place a phone call to us, and we issue the burn permit. That the a recipient of that permit doesn't have anything to do with the actual permit. So whether it's I or Eric, you know, we keep running tabs of the permits we issue, because every year I'm required to provide the state with a report of those permits, you know, that we gave out. So, and also, you know, every day Eric and I, you know, we look at the daily fire weather report that's comes from Forest Parks and Rec's Wildland Fire Program. And we base our decisions on whether or not we're going to issue a burn permit based on that fire weather report. You know, I acknowledge that sometimes weather conditions could be very different, you know, here in Bristol than they are in Starksboro, which are in the same area. The state has 5 areas when it comes to fire danger. So our area, which is area number 3, actually today the fire danger is high. It actually has been the last several days. So if someone was to request a permit, as someone did Saturday from me, you know, I said, unfortunately, I can't issue a permit, and I just explained the why, and they were good with that decision.
Cool.
I think that the nice thing about it is now that the fire department knows when there's burn permits issued, before
Yep.
you would get calls and not know whether a permit had been issued or not. I think that's one plus to the whole system.
Yeah, and actually, I'm glad you brought that up, Peter. So it's been a requirement all along. That when we issue a permit, you know, whether it's I or Eric, well, the first thing we do is, well, if we give them one, we notify the dispatch center. I don't want to say we're required to notify them. It's more of a courtesy, which they want us to, because it can save a lot of us a lot of headaches. It can sometimes stave off unnecessary responses by the fire department. You know, if the dispatch center is aware that the fire warden or deputy fire warden issued a permit at a particular address, or, you know, and the random 911 call comes in, we can not brush it off. You know, certainly if it warrants investigating it further, we'll do that. But usually it's like, no, this is an approved burn permit. So, because the issue, you know, we have today, you know, not just today, but ever since the cell phone came along, you know, people, they see fire, it gets their attention, and sometimes they might get a little nervous, and without stopping and perhaps asking a question or collecting all the information, you know, maybe drive past someone's address at 40, 50 miles an hour, see fire, and just dial 911 with no context. So next thing you know, the fire department's showing up at someone's doorstep for no reason at all. So when we issue permits, you know, to people, especially those who request them regularly, we just keep emphasizing the importance of them asking for a permit. 1, it's required by law, but 2, it also saves unnecessary dispatching of the fire department, you know, putting resources on the road, which obviously there's a cost associated with that every time we go out the door. Does that answer your question, Greg?
Good to go. Thank you.
Brett, when Eddie was doing it, and this is nothing to add, he did a good job for 30 years, and congratulate him for 30 years of that, was you guys, if you issued a permit, as we used to refer to them as deputies, now you called it something different. You guys couldn't call in other resources, like if it got out of hand on state land, right, or national forest land up on South Mountain. Because remember, sometimes we had to get in forestry pumps and other things like that. You guys couldn't issue those, but now you can.
We couldn't issue a burn permit on state land. Was that what you just said?
No, they don't. Do they need a permit, first of all, on state or national forest land, the South Mountain National Forest? And second of all, if you needed to call in, like when we had the one up on the ledges, they had to call pumps from the Forest and Parks.
Yeah, I was a key person, that definition, you know, not a deputy, but a key person. And I'm the one that actually called in that incident that night. You know, I was sitting in Prince Lane, picking up some pizza, and I looked up this mountain and I saw smoke. So to answer your question, and this is one of the reasons they wanted to align the responsibilities of fire warden and fire chief, because, you know, we are responsible for fire suppression in the municipality. You know, the statute they were updating is literally from, like, I think 1904, you know, back when there wasn't there was only a handful of fire departments. There was only 3 fire departments in all of Addison County at that time. So those people that filled that fire warden position absolutely filled a critical role at one point in time. But now that we have all of the responsibility for fire suppression, it only made sense to put it in the hands of the fire department. And if you follow the news at all, this certainly has created, I don't know how much controversy, but there's certainly been some maybe fire chiefs who haven't welcomed this, because they probably weren't doing this job. But the message is, even though by position the fire chief becomes the fire warden, at the end of the day, just like being fire chief, I have all the responsibility at the end of the day, but I don't have to be at that house fire. Eric can handle it, just like I can make anybody I want a deputy, and I don't require the select board's approval to do that. But again, ultimately, I take full responsibility should something go wrong.
Okay.
Just one more
Eric.
thing.
Yeah.
I received the survey today. We haven't filled it out for you and Eric, so I'll do that tomorrow and submit it.
The survey?
Yeah, the survey saying who our fire warden and
Oh.
our fire warden is.
Great, thank you, Sharon.
Haven't done it yet, so I'll do it for you tomorrow.
Okay, thank you very much.
The survey, did they refer to it as deputy? Because he just called it something different, not a deputy.
I don't-
Key person.
Well,
Yeah,
that-
so, but it's the fire warden and the deputy fire warden. Those are the titles. So fire chief, fire warden, deputy fire chief, deputy fire warden. Yep. But I mean, I don't want to interrupt you all, but I certainly want to give Eric an opportunity if you had anything to add to this conversation.
No, everything else was more kind of behind the scenes about pay for fire wardens went away, and the ability of the state to step in, and a few other small tweaks at the state level. But all the responsibility of the fire warden, Brett and/or I, to submit fire reports within a certain amount of time. We still have to acknowledge that with the Fire Forest Parks and Rec that a fire is occurring on state land. The one thing that I noticed that was just a thing to point out was the state used to say they shall pay for fires on state property, and now they say they may pay for fires on state property. So just as those that run the budgets, we'll keep that in mind. But it's not that wouldn't stop us from suppressing it. It's just the funding may come from a different source. That was it.
Yeah, certainly, when we don't have significant forest fires routinely, but when they do happen, very similar to a natural disaster that the fire department is responding to and supporting in some capacity, it's personnel, and it can become a lot of hours quickly, which can definitely have an impact on your operating budget. But I kind of regret not going through all my notes. I think another change, they've actually created 3 different categories of fires. So previously, and this comes up in the village again regularly. So previously they defined a campfire, like a recreational campfire. They didn't define the size of it, but they defined it as for cooking or for warming. So you can interpret that how you want, like survival. I'm having a fire to cook food and to stay warm. So they actually define that now, which is a fire that is in a ring, whether it be metal, stone, some outdoor fireplace that is 36 inches or less in diameter, and burning firewood in it. But as soon as if you were to burn brush, like yard waste, inside that 36-inch or less ring, a permit would then be required. And of course, anything larger than that, the brush piles, absolutely require a permit.
Awesome. Any other questions for Brett or Eric?
No,
Thank you, guys.
thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good evening.
Have a good evening. Bye.
Oh, now the fun part. Setting of the FY 2027 municipal tax rate based on the 2026 grand list.
You want me to list these out?
Yes, please.
Okay. The total homestead tax rate is 2.8432. The total non-residential tax rate is 2.8897. The police district tax rate is 0.3507. So the total taxes for the police district homestead tax rate is 3.1939, and the non-residential tax rate is 3.2404. Do I need the rest of that? Municipal tax rate without police department, without police
Huh?
department, I need to, you don't need that, right?
No.
None of these will not change, right? I mean, because you said there may be some adjustments, but that just has to do with if people appeal their.
No, these numbers will not
won't
change.
Yeah, they can't, they
Well,
have
that's
to
what
be
I
out
thought,
in
but
time
then
to
for some
send
reason
it.
I
Yeah.
thought you said something might change and you have to reissue
Well,
new,
no, I may have to reissue
reissue new
some
tax bills.
tax bills because I don't have everybody's state
State
payment
pay,
yet.
yeah, okay. Mhm.
Or if,
And
that's
they-
usually the only reason that it's changed.
Mhm.
There may be errors in emissions by the end of the year, but that doesn't change what's already been approved.
Okay,
Make a motion that we approve Michelle's reading of the tax rates, the four tax rates.
for the 2026,
For the
2027.
26, 2027 tax year.
Second.
I beat you, Michelle.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Pine Street paving, top layer, discussion of Pike Industries quote and bid process, $68,921.12. How does that compare to the number we got originally to put the top coat on?
Top coat versus the base?
No, didn't we originally get a price? No? Okay.
No, not yet, not for the
The
top.
base was.
We weren't,
The
I
base
discussed
was
it,
like
what you got.
75,000, wasn't it? I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
say. Wasn't the base 3 years ago about 75,000?
Almost 90.
Okay.
Well,
And that was what we
with
were
the-
planning.
With the grinding, it was right around 90 with the grinding.
And that's what we planned on then, we weren't planning on putting the top coat on until.
Not then.
Then,
I
right.
wanted to let it set for
Right.
a year or so or two, to let it settle down and, get traffic on it.
Been 2 or
and
3 now.
then top it.
It's been 2 or 3.
Two.
24
I think this is going on the, let's see,
Yeah, we did it in 24 or 23.
this will be the third winter coming up.
Were you shocked with this price?
Yeah, if we don't do it this year, it'll be third winter without getting it topped.
Were you shocked with this price?
Actually, no, I
Oh,
would
okay.
thought it was gonna be more than that. I was figuring out closer to 100.
I was too, because of the, I talked to you today about, the oil prices and
Yeah.
that's
I
what, and the
figured.
fuel, that's what goes in the pavement.
Well, Mike even said that, some of the towns are foregoing paving because of fuel costs and the oil and the paving prices and stuff like that. They're putting it off, to see if the prices come down next year. They're.
It's a gamble.
The gamble. And so,
Did you just see the text that Jill just sent?
no.
Can I read it bigger then?
Yeah.
Hello all, I don't see any items for the water on this meeting, and I've already discussed the Pine Street paving with Eric and Steve Palmer. The water department will procure the 1-inch valve box riser for the project, and Eric will coordinate the timing with the Bristol West water line replacement tie-ins to Pine Street to minimize any disturbance in the nice new pavement going in likely in September. So they still gotta cut into are we gonna pave this in September and then they cut in?
No, they're supposedly supposed to be cutting it in before that, and I'm gonna pave it after they get done. I'm not gonna pave it until they get done their cut tie-ins.
We didn't stub those out
I thought
beyond.
you stubbed out.
Apparently Taylor, they gotta cut into pine by a couple feet, according to Steve.
I'd like to make sure it's really packed good and not look like the one out here.
Well, yeah, I wanna make sure whoever's doing
Not with a
it,
little plate
especially in
tamper.
Pine Street, they do it with a jumping jack. Right now, they're just doing it with a plate tam. And then, the plate tam that they got is probably same size as what we have.
Like you're doing a patio.
Yeah.
And they're doing the water services, and they're just running that plate tam. And I don't know what the lifts are. I haven't watched them, how thick the lifts are, but them things don't pack much more than a 6-8 inch lift very well, you know, so they're gonna, all them things over there are gonna settle that they've done so far.
Well,
But that's not in where we're gonna be
That's
paving,
not-
so.
No,
but the Pine Street,
Pine
the
Street.
Taylor Pine will
I
be.
wanna make sure, I'm gonna tell Steve that
Gonna do
whatever
it.
is in Pine Street is gonna be done with a jumping jack.
So you're saying this isn't gonna be paved until they're done doing whatever they're doing on
The
Taylor?
only one that I've been told that they have to come into Pine Street on is Taylor. Maple, that there's a stub out in Maple
And there's one
already, and one in Munsell, no. There's no stub in Munsell because they went by, but there's one in Maple.
There's 3 valves there in the
Yeah,
intersection.
but-
I checked tonight.
They're not coming up top of Munsell with the project.
Oh, that's,
Munsell's not being
because
done
the
yet.
north end is already 8-inch
Right.
in
So
1974.
the only one is Maple, and there's a stub in the Maple now, probably 10, 15, 20 feet maybe.
And Liberty doesn't have to be done there.
And Liberty's not
Not
being
being
done.
done.
Liberty's not being done. They are going into Liberty from West Pleasant. They're going into Liberty because the main is on the other side by the horse rink.
Right.
Correct.
So they're supposed to be going into that this year when they do their West Pleasant tie-in and
Yep.
stuff.
And speaking of just paving, I know it's on Pine Street, are you planning on these ones that they're digging up? Are they just gonna pave, like
They're
they just
just gonna base them.
base in the cutouts? Not, and you're not gonna top them this year, let them set like you did Pine Street.
Yeah.
I think that's a good move.
Yeah, and then we got at the meeting, well, Greg can fill you in more later about the meeting we had with them to do with the drainage.
Oh,
Down
Munsell?
down
The
on
drainage on
Maple,
Munsell.
Munsell.
The south end of Munsell?
Yeah, so Greg can fill you in more on that.
I'll make a motion that we authorize the road foreman to put that
Accept.
wood pikes, accept
Accept.
pikes bid of $68,921.12.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
I just had
Here.
a quick question. Oh, sorry. I just had a quick question. So this money is already in the budget. This isn't extra money. It's what we planned on doing and it's already in the budget for this year?
Part of the paving budget.
It's part of the paving budget, it's already in the capital paving reserve.
Great, thank you.
I should have asked that earlier, I'm sorry. Is there any other paving you're gonna do this year, or just that?
I'm getting the price to do, East Street down by the rock.
Oh, yeah, it's getting,
Bring that up, so she does the tip, I wanna dig it out, dig it down like a foot, after it takes pavement out, put some road base in, bring it up, and
Another
then
rock.
pave it over.
you gonna try to do that before school starts with all the
Road.
traffic?
Oh,
If you don't get to it, then it might
to
be
the north.
spring, maybe spring before we get to it, we'll see how we do it on time. But
I
that's.
was just
the next-
thinking, school traffic.
Yeah, no, I know. That's the next price I had him give me a price on that down there. And while I got you talking on pavement, because of the way that pricing is going right now and budgeting wise, a thought I had was seeing how we're getting a little bit behind on paving because of the pricing and increases and stuff. What would you guys think about doing inch? I know it's not the proper way to do it, and it's not right way to do it, but it might buy us some time, is to do inch shims on some of these roads to buy us some time.
Some of the real bad spots.
Yeah, like River Road needs it, South Street needs it.
The north end of Liberty needs it there from the hill down.
I wanna do all of Liberty, but I don't wanna do that until they get done tying into Liberty.
Great.
I'm just spitballing here, trying to catch up a little bit, but, you know, with the.
well, you
with
did
the-
that with Lower Hartscrabble, and that's still hanging in there, didn't you?
It's just a thought, so if you guys wanna
You
think
think-
about it,
I guess.
I'll go for it.
Do you think an inch is just gonna break up quickly, or do like you did Pine Street, do an inch and a half, or 2.5, 2?
Well, all they did was an
If you're
inch.
doing a 2 inch, you're doing basically a top coat.
But didn't you do an inch
We
on
did a shim over on
Lower-
Lower Harsh.
Lower Hartscrabble? And that's still in,
Yeah.
not
Lower
that,
Hartscrabble.
not that it gets a whole bunch of travel.
The only
Traffic.
issue with a 1-inch shim is it you run the risk of it flaking.
Right.
Yeah,
And then you're
that's the issue.
right back in the same boat if it
Yep.
decides to do that,
We
but,
did that on, Burpee Road. There's a couple places that we did that on Burpee Road, or the mix wasn't quite right, and there was some pretty good scaling pieces.
well, I mean, at an inch, you've gotta blend back in, so there are places where
Yeah,
they're
thin
and all it's gotta do is
troughs.
get started, so.
Yeah. It was an idea of just trying to catch up. Nothing that's set in stone, that's something that we don't have to do, it was just an idea.
But I brought up River Road a while back, and you said there's some ledge under there.
There's
I
some
believe
ledge, that's a
you
line
wanted
there
to
that
get
we
that out of there.
Heck out of there, yeah.
I know that's kind of a forgotten road. because
Alright,
it's
you're
not
getting
ours.
off topic here,
Yeah, go ahead.
we got a
Sorry, yeah.
motion and a second, and the discussion was on the motion.
Can you just get us a list of the roads that you're thinking about doing that to?
Yeah, I'll come up
We
with
can-
something, and I'll go over it with Rick.
People.
Yeah.
Alright, we ready to move forward? All those in favor of, pursuing the bid for Pine Street signify by saying aye.
Uh,
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Policies, I'm having a good one tonight. Policy and ordinance updates. Procurement policy. Meeting 2, second reading.
I sent my.
I made the adjustments, every adjustment, and that was what I sent to you all. The adjustments
After the one I,
on the procurement, yep.
I think I only had one question, which was, shouldn't the town, or the select board be added to being able to designate somebody?
Yeah, and
Okay.
it's
I think that
added.
was the only question I had.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was it, that was added, the only thing that was edited, and then, I'll bring it back for final adoption on the 3rd. That'll give you some more time to review it, Jessica.
Okay.
Alright, so no action on that, we just,
Anybody else got any comments on it?
Is it the next
More
meeting?
than welcome, check staff procurement policy.
Greg, you said on the 3rd or the 10th?
It's 10.
For what?
10th.
The 10th, you said.
The next one?
Yeah.
Our next meeting is the 10th.
Huh?
You said the 3rd. It's 10.
Our next meeting is August 10th.
No, I
Just
know,
one.
but it's the third in the
third
series
reading.
of.
Oh, third was series.
Third reading.
I thought you meant
Third reading.
Yeah.
third reading, not the 3rd of the month.
Yeah.
You said you were back in
that's
two.
what he meant, was the 3rd reading, not the 3rd of the
Got
month.
it, sorry,
Sorry.
It's not your fault, they're
Yeah.
confused.
that's fine.
It's okay, it happens. I'm easily confused too. Alright, policies and ordinance update. Personnel policy, meeting, first reading.
First one's very draft, there's a bunch of additions, about 7 sections that we had to add to come up online since the 2017 adoption. Some of them could be better articulated out, but for the most part, it hit all the high marks. I have, in parallel to y'all reviewing, I'm having the staff review them as well to make sure, so they have direct feedback. Does it make sense? Is it applicable? Also, just having them to have a say-so and policies that govern their life is important, so.
That's democracy at its finest, huh? Questions on the personnel policy?
I read his really synopsis of this. What, page 2, number 32, the bottom one, I just put a question mark. I didn't understand that. Comp time available only to non-exempt public works and police employees and all other non-exempt staff paid cash overtime.
Yeah, what we wanted to do there is we have staff that have different rules and policies around them based on comp time, specifically to DPW, and clearing up any previous language that ambiguity between exempt and non-exempt status and comp time.
So if it's bad winter 1 week, employees over there have 85 hours, they could put 30 of it in the comp or no?
After they reached 40 hours of their work week.
Right, 40, yes. If they had a total of 85 hours, let's say, they said.
Well, no, you would just take vacation at that point.
Guess
85 hours? What do you?
If they had plowing snow for one whole week, they had 85 hours in.
Yeah, we'll earn comp time for that.
They could put half of that or a third, they have
They
to,
could put everything over 40 hours into comp time if they
Okay.
wanted to.
Yeah,
Or they could get paid for it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
they should get paid for it.
yeah, they should, but.
Quite often they do both. Yeah, they.
You give them both, you pay them and let them have the time off?
I'm not telling them that. They split it out, I just.
No, they split it up, yes, I totally understand that.
Yeah, they split, except for me, I get straight down the middle.
You don't use the time you have.
You're exempt.
There's the other half.
Don't worry, Eric's gonna change that this year.
Yeah, I'm going to non-exempt. No, wait a minute, you take.
No, he's just going on vacation.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you want me to go through my questions or
No.
comments, or your,
I got it. There's no need to.
well, okay, but maybe you and I should have a conversation so I understand some of it.
We can do that.
Okay.
I read the first thing first. this one.
Well, I sent.
You sent all
I
your track
sent-
changes,
Yeah,
right?
I sent it to all of you guys. I mean, I just, some of it to me is like a bookkeeping nightmare, treasurer's nightmare, and budget nightmare.
Well, I think part of the goal was
So's
to
running-
clarify a lot of that.
So's running a town,
Yeah,
Michelle.
well, no, but there's some of it can be avoidable, that's all.
I mean, everything that I added in there is required by state statute. I wouldn't add anything to a policy if it wasn't absolutely necessary. So,
Some of the time off, the language is clearer now, it's actually easier to work with than what we have today.
In page 7 of the probational period, I thought it was only 6 months for new employees, not 12.
It
I think
is,
it was
it's always
12.
been 12.
It's
Has
always
it been
been
12? Okay.
It was 12 when I came here.
Well, with
We're
good
not
reason.
definitely not shortening after you, Sharon.
Oh.
We hired you and said, yeah, we gotta change it
You
off.
didn't even meet me before I came.
I think you came highly recommended, if memory serves.
So
I
did
know
I.
that
But they
CDL drivers
they
have to be
brought me
under
on
the drug and
anyway.
alcohol testing.
Yeah.
Should we put our rec people or our police department?
Police department's already on their
they're
own
different.
deal.
Okay,
Yeah.
they got their own
Yeah.
policy anyway.
Everyone who's required to be DESA tested is currently being tested.
Okay, because the
And I have,
rec employees work with children, so I wonder if.
yeah, no, there's
No, they
zero
have to
need
get
to do any
fingerprinted
of
and
that.
all that.
Oh, I know that, but if you think they're under the influence, can we
Yeah.
require?
At any time, at any employee,
anytime
we
you
feel,
can request.
Okay,
not, doesn't, it's not department specific.
It's a, yeah, most are set up that way. If you have suspicion at any time, you can request a drug or an alcohol test. Anything else on the personnel policy?
well, then everything will be here.
All right, and you're keeping, Eric's not screaming right at the moment, so you're keeping him pacified?
We had a good conversation on it, so.
Did you read it?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, he read it.
I went down and talked to him about it.
Did you read it, or did you just go talk to him?
No, I did, I skimmed
Okay.
through it and I read it, and I went down and talked to him, we had a talk on it.
He asked me what you were thinking. I said, I don't know, you're gonna have to talk to him.
So no one went down and everything from what we talked about and discussed, from what I gathered, everything that we're doing currently, we're gonna keep doing the same as what we're doing.
Yeah.
So,
It's just cleaning it up.
just cleaning it up, so it's fine, you know, it's no big, it's all right.
I think, you know, a lot of the language in there was so tough to follow. That, you know, unless you were sitting here when it was written, you wouldn't know how to interpret it. And
Well-
even then,
Yeah.
some of us interpreted it
The old
differently.
one?
Yeah,
And it was amended on top of amendments, and then, like, there was times where they actually clashed, like, you
Clashed
changed
a little
something
bit.
here, and it's like,
Yeah.
that, yeah, so,
Yeah.
but you guys,
There were several areas I went into and it was not finished. And it like referenced another area, and then you'd go into that area and it's like, oh, this area is still in construction too, all right, well. So it's just like figuring out what was missing first, so.
put what's needed and then clean
Yeah.
everything else up.
yeah.
Perfect. All right. Moving on, select board roundtable. Jessica,
Let me unmute myself. I don't have anything yet, although I was looking forward to talking a little bit more about some of the traffic speed concerns that have appeared on Front Porch Forum, but we can talk about that in a future meeting. Oh no, my volume went out. I'm gonna mute myself.
No, you just muted.
No, you're muted.
If I'm not muted, I can't hear you. I don't know what's going on. I'll stop now. I'll talk when I'm back next week.
Awesome, thank you, Jessica. Joel?
I had a couple of things and I forgot about it. One of them I saw in the pay orders about the airport sidewalk study there. I know it was a few $100,000. Where are we with that? That's not happening this year anyway, right?
No, we're just there. They'll have the final draft back to us pretty soon, and we'll close out the grant, and we'll take the scoping study and put it in the bin of other scoping studies. And when we're building out things to do, we'll incorporate it. But that's $1 million project in a long list of priorities.
Okay, all right. And no more word on the house on East Street?
I mean, they start taking it down in about a week.
I was gonna say, it's coming right up.
Oh, good news, good news.
Yeah.
Be down before school
Well,
starts.
they have to deal with the asbestos.
Yeah, I think August 5th, 3rd,
Put it all
8th, somewhere in that ballpark.
Covered trailer, dig it at Coventry. Yeah, that's all.
Is it? Michelle?
Where'd the tax sales go?
The neighbor bought the one on Vincent Drive. We bought the one on North 116. And then the third one that was up for tax sale, he ended up coming up with the money, so I think got a tax sale.
That's what we want.
Yep, and I should have the money from them probably by the end of the week for the taxes on the 3 parcels.
So the one on North on 116, I wanna try to find out, where exactly on the left going north is that?
So there's not a road there. So you got the 3 log homes.
Yep,
Right after that, you have George Woody Truax's house.
yep.
Then there's a field.
Yeah.
Right down the middle of that field.
That where that driveway is, right
No,
there?
I don't think, there might be a driveway there.
There is a
Yeah,
driveway.
Danny Casey's put a
Yeah,
driveway
and
in.
it goes straight back, and it's, once you,
Oh, it's behind that.
oh yeah, once you hit swamp, that's what we own.
Oh, okay, it's behind that.
Yeah.
Was it 9 acres, Chris?
13, I think.
9 or 13.
What was owed on it anyway? What was owed on it?
Around $7,000.
So basically, it's holding the earth together, you can't do anything with
Eh. You can always do something, something.
Something.
Yeah, well, the problem is if you can't get to the good land, they're not gonna let you go, the state's not gonna let you go
Go
through the
through
wetlands.
ponds.
Yeah, we can trade it.
His wheels are turning. I also want to send out my condolences to the Truax family, because Wendy Truax passed away last week.
Yeah.
Who's been a lot with an employee of the town. My last question, and I don't know the answer to this, when the bears tip over dumpsters at businesses and
Creamy
don't-
sand to be
and they
exact.
don't pick it up, what's the responsibility? I mean, it looks like crap.
I don't know, when did that happen?
A week and a half, 2 weeks ago?
Oh, they haven't sold any creamy sometimes?
Well, they picked up the dumpster, they just pick up their trash. But it's just not them, like people up my way, the bears get into it all the time, and sometimes people, they just don't pick it up.
I know the bears get in our dumpster and they drag it halfway up the mountain and we spend a day going up and
I know.
dragging it back
it. Your
down.
fence isn't working anymore?
No, it is, but when they used to
can
get
do
in.
it, Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done that too, we've had to clean it up out of the woods. I'm just
Okay.
trying to figure out what responsibility, I mean,
They really don't, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, other than if you could possibly see if there's any type of vectors, then it could turn into a health issue, but for the most part,
isn't it technically littering?
it's on their own property.
Yeah.
I mean, we could just go buy ice creams and make snide comments about the bear.
I don't wanna be snide, I would just go right up and say,
Call the piper and say, hey, any chance you
And
might
you're gonna pick
clean
it
that
up?
I've noticed it multiple times lately, and it's sort of off-putting. It smells bad.
I don't know, I haven't been
I don't know
there, but every time I go by, it's like, God, I can't believe they haven't picked that up.
Yeah.
They're not the only ones, I mean, it's been, you know,
We have one every night out there out back. He was in the dumpster the other day, but it was all sheetrock and everything else. He got her back out of there in a hurry.
Green Up Day, that's what I picked up. Other people's trash that the bears took in the woods. Ticked me off.
I come face to face with a bear in the corn piece on Friday.
Do you say hi?
Yeah, he stood up, and I went the other way.
And that was all I had.
I have nothing. Town administrators report. See, I was gonna ask questions, but I figure you're gonna report out on them anyway,
Yeah,
so.
I'm gonna put it out. Bristol West, construction, moved through Elm to Taylor, and they're moving back through Elm. Service connections in the main. Holly Hall, August 5th, storm windows are going in, and then August 10th, the blower testing will be done. So Meredith, you should definitely have Holly Hall back to run out, I imagine by end of August to be on the safe side. Lawrence Memorial, PCB remediation is going on right now. Asbestos occurred last week. They're wrapping up that portion of the PCB. I had a meeting with the Vermont State Libraries today, and they are giving us additional $385,000 of funding that'll cover all the PCB, asbestos, subflooring, hardwoods, and a bunch of other things within the scope that we couldn't budget. So no need for us to do
To get
any
all worried.
loans or debt servicing on that. Our current town cash position is $595,800 in the general fund with $1.45 million in reserves. That's as of last week. There's cash flow coming in and out, and we just signed $200,000 out there. I've got $870,000 out in grant and loan reimbursements. Bristol East Water was placed second on lead service line, so we're looking at potentially another 50% forgiveness, same as Bristol West. We're going to have all sorts of bonding, Jenga discussions and financing stuff, which we'll get into. But that's good. We're looking at significant cost reduction on Bristol East.
There were notes, where did I read that you're thinking of tying the two projects together?
Yes, sir. I've been thinking, I mean, since we've got Munson, the limiting factor is if the state will allow it. But we got Munson on site now, and then what we're considered under bonded, right? So the town went out and bonded for $3.95 million, and then we had a $1.95 million reduction to that bond. So we're just a little bit over $2 million. So the town approved us 3.95, and then we're gonna have to do Bristol East anyway. So it might make sense to tie in Bristol East into Bristol West. I was even gonna see if they would consider discussions of Rockydale as well, but that seems to be farther out and too much
That's a huge.
ambiguous costs, but certainly some discuss. I mean, if we need to go out for another bond, we can in November. But since we're under bonded, it might just make sense to wrap it all in one now, since there's a lot of action to make that bond go through. So, as you all know, you were part of most of it. So, yeah, we're having all sorts of discussions on what's allowable and what they're willing to do, and just like Eric was talking about, the prices, people are opting out because they can't. And I've got people here, like the same thing, like with Holly Hall upstairs, right? Like, like we replaced the dormer window and all the trim and the slate around that because I've got them here now. And like, it's not like we're never, like a rotting out part of a wall or a window is something that absolutely has to be fixed. Especially when you're doing an energy conservation project,
you've already got the place closed down.
Yeah, but when you're weighing, like, how much is it going to cost to get more people out here again? And every time we kick this can down the road, it's add another zero. So it's just like, if I've got you here now and it's feasible, right? Like, how can we move things around to save the taxpayer dollars in the future?
Well, I can tell you right now, the construction side of things is really up in the air.
Yeah.
Because things are extremely slow.
Yep.
We're seeing, or I'm hearing, we're seeing out-of-state bidders bid in Vermont. The only reason they do that is because there's not work in their areas. Noticing SD Ireland doing the same things they did back in 06 and 07. They're sneaking down this way doing residential work.
Yeah.
Those are all signs that
Early signs.
that something's happening.
Yeah.
And-
Downstream issues, right?
Yeah,
And we've been preparing for it. We've talked about it for many months now. We kind of know what's.
so I'm thinking, you know, if we might be in a really good position to get a decent price if they know they've got work for the next 4 years. So my thoughts on it.
Same.
I certainly am noticing it from work that, you know, we used to do 30, 40 trucks a day and now we're doing 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So there's definitely something afoot.
Yeah. Well, whatever we can do to save money and keep moving in the direction we're headed.
Because the pipes in the ground aren't getting any better.
No.
Bristol East.
No?
And Bristol East is a smaller, in some ways.
Yeah.
Most of Mountain Street's done, so all of Spring is done, isn't it, Baker?
Yeah, spring.
Finch and Crescent, I believe they're in the 70s, or Crescent is, that was put in the 70s, that road. So, we're not talking a lot of Bristol
Well,
East
Main
compared
Street.
to Bristol West.
Yeah, Main Street's the one that's gonna be
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we may be able to come in under on the total 3.9, you know, I mean, that's a hell of a deal for a taxpayer. You
Mainly-
voted, you thought you were gonna pay 3.5
Right.
to just have west, and you're like, well, and you're getting the other half of town minus Rockingham, you know?
Mhm.
That's, you'll,
Yeah.
as far as savings go, it's like
Right.
once in a generation type thing, so.
Can I ask a question?
You can ask
Have you
me.
guys been down on Maple Street? There was a big crater down there.
Yeah.
Have them fill that in if they haven't
Yeah.
already.
Down on the
Okay.
West Street end?
What's that?
On the West Street end? where
Yeah.
we checked out?
It's like, yeah, I gotta go all the way around. It's like, okay, nobody else has noticed this?
Yeah.
There's a good one on Munsell corner too, Munsell West Pleasant, pretty good.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, but yeah, we're working on that as well. But yeah, I mentioned.
Mhm.
So. Oh, that's all I have.
Other business, correspondence, reports, communications received.
I would anticipate we're probably gonna need to have the conservation committee, I'll reach out to them, come in August, so they can give the parks report. I think that would be important in support of the prayers, Lord's Prayer Rock discussion we had in public as well. And that's all I got this week for communication.
Okay. Then we are on to executive session.
I make a motion, we enter executive session for 1 VSA section 313, subsection A, subsection 1, and subsection 2, to discuss contracts and real estate. I think I thought there was personnel. I thought that's what Ian said, but I might be wrong.
No, I don't have any personal.
Okay.
If they're all signed.
Everybody's here signing.
Can I give these back to you? Because I don't want them laying around, and they mean, Jack, you know what to me. Hey, read them and then.
Did I get a second to that?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Who's nay?
Night.
Good night, guys.
Motion carried. We are in executive session. Go ahead.
We painted the tip on the rock today, put the little sprinkly things on it,
Told you
so.
I would do it.
We did it today, 'cause I ordered the paint, it came in, so.
You see the little lines out
We're
here?
doing parking lines too, so,
Yeah, the
That's
state
it
did
for
the
paint.
lines out on 116, boy, did they do a shit.
yeah, they weren't that great this
They
year.
were not. The white lines weren't bad, the yellow lines, they're pretty bad.
So we got